Stop pretending that your suit, your slides, your PowerPoint are going to make people believe you. Because if your voice in your presenting sounds weak or unsure or flat, boring, monotone, people believe the voice, not the suit, not the slides. And that's where most miscommunications start. You see, we have our vocal image and we also have our visual image. Vocal image will always override the way that you look. So how can you not experience miscommunications? Well, it's simple. Stop letting your voice tell the wrong story. My name's Lisa Hugo. I'm a voice and communication coach, and I've worked with performers and professionals for years, turning nervous and unclear speaking into confident, commanding voices. So stick with me because I've got practical, simple tools that you can use right now. I've also got a free training that you can register for to help you to become a voice of authority in your industry. The link is down there in the description below. You can go register for that. You know, many professionals, leaders, doctors, lawyers, executives, they get their message wrong, not because of bad content, but because of bad delivery. You could have the perfect proposal, the best evidence, the right diagnosis, and one weak sentence can undo it all. If you fix that, then everything else becomes easier. Your voice is not just sound, it's a whole language. There are 5 elements that do the talking even before your words land. The first one is pitch. How high or how low do you speak? The next one is pace. How fast do you speak? How slow do you speak? Then we've got melody. Does your voice sing a little bit or does it stay very flat? Volume is next. Is it soft or is it strong? And then you've got tone. Is it warm? Is it harsh? Is it breathy? Is it bright? Mix these together and people will decide if you are a leader, if you're nervous, if you're warm, if you're angry, or if you sound bored. And that's why voice can create miscommunications. Your intent and perception can be miles apart. One pattern in the voice, which can completely undermine your authority, is the questioning voice, where your voice rises at the end of a sentence, even when it's not really a question. Hi, my name is Lisa. I'd like to invite you to my free webinar. The link's in the description below. Hear the rising patterns in the voice that makes it sound insecure. Even if you're completely certain, your voice is going to tell the audience otherwise. I'd love to invite you to my free training. All you need to do is click the link in the description below. Don't hand people permission to doubt you. Now here's a quick demo of how using different combinations of the pitch, the pace, the melody, and the volume will completely change the way it's perceived. So I'm going to use the phrase, I'm here to help you. Now, if I'm happy and excited, I'm going to go, hey, I'm here to help you. If I'm angry and frustrated, hey, I'm here to help you. Sad or disappointed, I'm here to help you. Or serious and authoritative, I'm here to help you. You see, they're the same words, but they've got very different meanings. And that's the quickest way to see how delivery changes everything. Try the angry voice like you're a movie villain. It's going to be ridiculous, but you're going to notice the change. I'm here to help you. You can be dressed like a CEO, but if your voice is soft and high or breathy, people trust the voice first or distrust the voice. The suit just becomes background noise. Your vocal presence sets expectations faster than you think, and that's why we need to fix the voice before we can go out and blame anything to do with the image. A quick guide as to how you can change different elements in your voice to convey different emotions is, well, let's try something. Let's say we're going to be happy and excited like I did before. Well, you're going to be higher, you're going to have lots of melody, and you're going to have more energy. Now, if you're angry, what's going to happen is you're going to get louder. You're going to have less melody. You're taking all the melody away, so it's all very much on one level. And you can hear there are sharper edges in the voice. It's not soft. Then, if we're going to be sad, we're going to lower the voice. It's going to go softer. And you're going to hear falling patterns in the voice. So you're starting a bit higher, and then it goes down lower. And then if you're serious, well, you're going to lower, you're going to be steadier with your pace, and you're not going to have much wiggle room there. You're not going to use a lot of melody, but you're also not going to be only very flat. So just very steady with your pace and your pitch. But what happens when you've got mixed emotions? So let's say if someone is both angry and sad, then you might hear they're going to be loud, but they're also going to have a falling melody. It's going to feel heavy, but also unresolved. I don't understand why you did this. I don't understand why it has to be like this. So heavy and unresolved. So there's anger in there, but there's also sadness, despair. Now, people pick up on that complexity, and they often feel then uncomfortable if the voice then is not matching the message. Now, sometimes when you raise your volume, you also start to strain your voice. You've heard people say, don't raise your voice with me. When you raise your voice, you're also lifting your voice box, your larynx, and you're creating tension, which is not only uncomfortable for the listener, but can also become very uncomfortable physically for you. In fact, it can even lead to health issues for your voice. Tiredness, fatigue, breathiness, raspiness, hoarseness, breaks in your voice. And if you feel any of these symptoms over any period of time, then you should get your voice checked by a voice specialist. That would be an ear, nose, and throat specialist, an ENT. But aside from any medical conditions, which are very rare, voice is a skill. You can develop it. So I want you to start with these simple actions. The first one is breathe from your belly. Take a deep breath right in so your chest doesn't lift up, but you feel your core expanding on the inhale of your breath. And then breathe out slowly on an SH, on a shh. This way you're going to feel how your core is supporting the exhale of that breath. And when you breathe to the belly, this supports the voice, it reduces any of that strain, and it also, well, it makes everything better in your speaking. The second point is to find your natural pitch and then ground it. The way you can do that is just say your name naturally. Hi, my name is Lisa. Very grounded. And that is going to be close to your natural pitch. And then if you need a bit more authority, perhaps your voice sits a bit higher, then just gently lower your pitch. Hi, my name is Lisa. And that will just give it that little bit more authority, but don't push it to be uncomfortable. Hi, my name is Lisa. It won't feel natural. It's not authentic to you, and it's going to feel strained. The next one is to slow your pace purposefully. Pausing after key points makes you sound confident. Rushing says, I'm nervous. And you go out and you say, hi, everybody, I'm so pleased to be here. And you don't know when to stop, and you keep joining your sentence together, and you get faster and faster. You're going to sound nervous. So slow down, take intentional pauses. And the next one is to add some melody. Just a tiny bit of rise and fall in your voice like this keeps people interested. When you speak only on 1 or 2 or 3 notes, it makes those really great points that you've got just go and fall on deaf ears. People will switch off. Now project your volume to the back of, let's say, a medium room. You don't have to project to the end of an auditorium, but a medium-sized room without shouting. So think of your voice as reaching somewhat about 4 meters away. It's clear, it's projected, it's coming from your core, which supports the voice, and it's not strained. And it will sound confident, and it's going to reach every person in the room. And then make sure that your tone is matching your message. So if you want to demonstrate empathy with somebody, I get you, you're going to sound softer. You're going to sound warmer. You don't want to sound harsh or annoyed or edgy when you want somebody to feel that empathy, that you get them. But then if you want to speak with conviction, you're going to be steadier. You're going to be firmer in the way you choose the tonality, the pitch, the pace, the melody. And that's the whole key here. You get to choose before you speak. Now, I've got an entire program that you can access if you want to learn more about using your voice as an instrument to your success. And it's called Voice of Success. I'm going to put the link in the description below. You can go check that out. But here's an example of a hesitant voice versus a confident voice. The sentence I'm going to use is, I will lead this meeting with clarity. So if you were hesitant, you'd say something like, I'm going to lead this meeting with clarity, or I'm going to lead this meeting with clarity. You hear it's softer. I've got a bit of an up talk. I'm also put a few ums and ahs in there, which undermine that authority and confidence. But if I'm going to say it with confidence, I will lead this meeting with clarity. It's very clear, it's very direct, it's very strategic in the pacing. If you practice both of these in front of a mirror, you're going to feel the difference. You're also going to notice your posture changes too, because when you're feeling and sounding hesitant, you'll find your body language also matches that. But when you are confident, your whole body language will lift up and you will feel it and you'll hear it in the way that you sound and show up. Also, your facial expressions are going to change the way your voice sounds. So if you are angry, but you have a smile on your face, you're not going to sound angry. But if you put a frown on your face, you also cannot really sound happy if you're frowning. So bear that in mind so that your facial expressions match what you mean to portray, and your voice will start to match that too. Your voice should fit your personality and the image that you want to project. So with your visual image, your voice should also match that visual image. And like I said earlier, even if your visual image is super professional, if you're a CEO and you're dressed in a suit and that's the image you're portraying, but then your voice doesn't match that, people remember the voice. So let's think about a doctor. A doctor, you want to have warmth, you want to have authority. A lawyer needs to be very clear and very conviction-oriented. A CEO needs to stay calm and command the room, command the team. Of course, there are variations where everyone needs to have elements of all of this in our speaking. You're not copying a voice. You are fine-tuning your own instrument so that it carries the right message. Now, I want to try a quick laugh. I want you to go and find your last email and then read it out loud using 3 different voices. Imagine you are a game show host and you're reading that email out as if you're a game show host about to announce the next guest. And then I want you to try reading that same email like you're a tired poet, a very tired poet. And then the last, I want you to read it like you are the superhero. Okay, I know it's really silly, and it's quick, and it trains the pitch, the pace, the tone without the pressure, right? Just let yourself step into another character and play with it, because that's what it's all about. It's not about making you inauthentic. It's about trying new skills and just seeing how they land and how that feels and stretching yourself outside your comfort zone. Okay, so let's give you a quick recap. Your voice tells people who you are, and it can either help or it can hurt your message. But the good news is that voice is a skill, and with simple coaching and practice, you can learn to be intentional, learn to be clear, and learn to be very confident. Now, if you want to transform your voice, as I've said, I've got a complete program. It's called Voice of Success. All you need to do is click the link that I've put down in the description below, or you can also head on over to Instagram, Lisa Hugo Official, send me a DM there and we'll send you all of the details, okay? Now, I highly recommend you watch this next video here where I share 5 tips to make your voice sound amazing. It's perfect follow-up from this video. And if this helped, then please like, subscribe, and let me know in the comments how it helped. Don't let your voice be the reason your message gets lost. I'll see you soon.